Hey everyone, it is Dave. Welcome in. It's time to talk about module number 6. This week we're going to have 4 lectures. We have one on post-impressionism, and the most famous post-impressionist is Vincent van Gogh, so he gets his own lecture. Then we're going to move on to the early 20th century, the early 1900s with Fauvism, and we're going to end also talking about another very famous artist, Pablo Picasso. For our project this week, I'm going to actually have you do a Picasso-esque or a Picasso-type drawing. It's really a lot of fun. And then we also have our 2 journal entries for the week. So join me. We're going to head over to the Canvas site, and I will walk you through Module 6. All right, here we are on the Canvas site. This week is Module number 6. Next week, Module 7. That's the last of the information for the course. And just like the first half of the class, Module 8 will contain our final exam and link to turn in the journals. Up top, we have our usual suspects, our video, our action plan for the week, and finally my office hours every Wednesday from 3 to 7. The first lecture on post-impressionism, lecture, study guide, and for the further exploration section here, there's only a documentary, and it is optional. But it's a really good documentary about this guy who dies, and in his will, he has very specific instructions as far as his art collection is concerned. However, lawyers and politicians seem to be able to override that will. So it's a really fascinating story. Again, something I'd probably bookmark and watch later after the semester is over. After that, we have a lecture on Vincent van Gogh. He is the most famous post-impressionist artist and usually a favorite artist of many of my students. The lecture is a professional lecture, and I just want to point it out there. It is a link this time. I'm not able to embed the video, so I do have the lecture for it here. And for any reason, if this does not work, I do have the backup lecture here because I unfortunately don't own the rights to the original one. We'll take a look at the further exploration section here. Up top, I've got a link to the letters of Vincent van Gogh, which are pretty cool. They're all about basically his art and his family. So you can click on it, you can have it translated for you. They're really kind of cool to see something in his own writing. After that, we've got Doctor Who, a little bit or a little detail of this particular episode called Vincent and the Doctor. After that, Don McLean from American Pie fame. He also wrote a song called Vincent, and then an episode of In Search of, as the host is Leonard Nimoy, and he played Vincent's brother Theo in a stage production of Vincent's life. And so that's kind of a really good video as well. After that, we're moving into the 1900s with Fauvism. So here, there's just a lecture and a study guide. Fauvism is about using arbitrary color in art. Following that, we're going to look at Picasso. We've got the lecture and the study guide, and then the further exploration section has a couple of videos. Now, keep in mind, he's responsible for Cubism, so that's kind of what this lecture is focused on. We've got a couple minutes of him just drawing. This is from a film, the only film I'm familiar with that is on Picasso, and it's not really on him, it's just him sitting in a room drawing for 2 hours. An important video to watch because there will be a test question on Guernica. Guernica is the largest painting Picasso ever completes. It's approximately, about 11 feet tall and then about 26 feet wide, and it's a really awesome painting. So that is definitely important to watch. After that, we'll take a look at the 2 journal entries. For journal number 9, this is focused on Matisse, and this is one of the cool things about modernism is that we get to hear directly from the artist rather than scholars thinking about this is what the artist thought. This is really his words, and it's cool when he first publishes this. I read a lot of reviews on it, and it's always talking about him in the first person, he's literally still alive at this time. So it's a really good reading. A lot of it is about really kind of noting the time we live in, and the art we produce really reflects that. So we can't produce art from another time period. It's really of the here and now. It's really kind of a powerful reading. And then the next one, we'll just click the next button, is on Picasso and Cubism. This is a fairly short reading, but again, it kind of lets you get into the mind of Picasso and what he's thinking and how important Cubism is. It's a totally different form of art. It's literally, he's developed a new category. So we have not only representational art, but also abstraction now. And that's going to be really big, of course, for the next 100 years. Even now, it's important. The final thing we have to do this week is a discussion board. And I wanted to make the discussion board a little bit more fun. What you're going to do is you're going to create a drawing like Picasso would in a cubist format. I've got a video down here that kind of shows this guy drawing in that type of format. So really, Cubism is about repeating a figure and seeing the figure from all sides at once. I have a couple past student examples, and this is really great because you don't have to be good at drawing, except drawing geometric shapes, because that's really what it comes down to. And the pizza here was a really great idea for or from this student. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to choose an object. Please do not use any objects from the video or the examples. Do not create a face. You want to use an inanimate object. Don't just fracture the object. Remember, you want to make sure to see the object from all sides simultaneously. And of course, don't take anything from online. All the images, go through a Google image search to make sure that they are original. You're going to need drawing paper or something equivalent, preferably something 11 by 14 inches works best. Your choice of drawing materials, however, colored pencils work really well for this project. And finally, you get to choose the object. Please use only one object. So when you see the examples here, it's a cup, a teacup or coffee cup, and then a pizza. So one item is all you're going to be doing. You also want to write a short paragraph about your creation. Just talk about it. Tell me the object, and of course everyone else in the discussion group, how long it took you to create it. Did you find the process easy? Are you happy with the finished work? That's what I'm looking for. Let's see. Basics of cubism, flatness of field, repeating the object, seeing the object from all sides at once. Because it's fascinating. Cubism and the theory of relativity by Einstein are invented within a couple years of each other, and they focus on the same thing. It's breaking down the idea of time and space, where everything becomes not of the past or the future, but of the now. The initial post is due May 4th, replying to another student May 11th. 25 points for your drawing and paragraph, 5 points for the response. And after that, that is it for this week. Let's head back to the module itself. That is everything. So if you do have any questions, please let me know via email or stop by my office hours on Wednesday, and I will see you shortly to tell you about module number 7.